Adventurers. I'm Janet, and we are embarking this week on block number 9. Can you believe we're 45% done? That's fantastic. It's hoodie weather here in Southeast Wyoming, and let's see, this morning it was in the low 40s, which will be the high tomorrow. So it's that time of the year where a couple of days ago it's 80, tomorrow is like 42 for the high. It's crazy. They had, I think, like 4 feet of snow somewhere in Montana yesterday. That's crazy. Anyway, it's hoodie, knitting weather, not just dish washcloths and socks, because it's 90 degrees. Now we can get into the big stuff. So I'm happy about that. Normally in the summer I knit more socks than anything else because it's hot. If you're just joining us on block number 9, be sure to watch the Afghan prep video. I'll put a link to that down below. So you'll want to watch that. You can knit these blocks in any order that you like, but you might want to watch the prep video so you get an idea of how things are going to go. Super happy. We've just hit 12,000 subscribers on the channel. So if you're one of those, then thank you so much. And if you're not yet, hit that button and make sure you click the little bell so you are notified of every single video that I upload each week. The patrons help make that happen. So a big shout out to my newest patron, Donna Simmons. Thanks so much for your support. All right, let's get busy. Let's take a look at the written instructions for square number 9. So we're going back to color B, and you're going to cast on 57 stitches and then knit rows 1 through 9, just the same as we have with all the previous blocks. And then the increase row is pretty straightforward. We've done that many times, just the knit 1, make 1. If you're new to this, I'll show you how I choose to do the make 1. So after I've completed those simple rows of garter stitch plus the little texture row 5, and then on 9, we're going to knit 1, make 1. And when I make 1, I reach down and grab the bar underneath here, and then I just put my right hand needle into the back and knit into the back of that, which gives it a little twist and helps to close that gap. So knit 1, make 1 twice. Knit 1, make 1. And sometimes if it's too tight to put your right needle in the back, I go ahead and put it in the front and then just roll this around, and you can get your left needle in the front, which by default puts the right needle in the back. So there's the second make 1. And now we're going to knit 2, make 1 26 times. So go ahead and do that all the way across until you only have 3 stitches left. All right, I have only 3 stitches left, so now I'm going to knit 1, make 1, knit 1, make 1 twice, and then just knit the last one. So that's pretty straightforward. Okay, knit the last one. All right, now you want to double count that you have the required 87 stitches, and the reason that we've done a quick increase and we've increased so many is because cables will suck everything back in. So when you do cables and they cross, you have stitches like 2 over 2 that are crossed, it draws the fabric in. So if you didn't do a quick increase, you would end up with like an hourglass shaped square that wouldn't be a square at all. All right, I've double checked that I have actually 87 rows, and I want to talk about this for a second. It says now, beginning on the wrong side, work rows 1 through 16 of the chart 9 4 times, and then rows 1 through 7 ending with the wrong side row. So I'll have 71 rows total, and then you do the decrease, and then we'll do the same garter stitch pattern and all that we did to begin with. But it is important to note that we're beginning on the wrong side row, because most times the chart begins on the right side row, and that is not the case here. So you need to take note of that, and also notice that all of the action, all of the cables that we're going to do will occur on even numbered rows. So beginning on the wrong side row, which will be row 1, wrong side rows when you're knitting flat and you're reading charts begin on the left, and you read left to right rather than right to left on the even side rows, because you're flipping your work back and forth. So just make sure to familiarize with yourself with that, particularly the chart notes here on the right side. But I'm going to talk about the wrong side first because that's where we're beginning. Begin at D. So you begin at D, you work all the way over to B, then go to C, and you repeat what's in between the red lines. And then you end at A. And then conversely, on the right side row, you'll go across this way to C, repeat the portion between the red lines or between B and C, and then ending over here at D. So just be super mindful of that. When we begin on row 1, we're beginning with these will be knit stitches. So just make sure you keep track of what's wrong side and right side here. So just be careful especially when you're first getting your pattern established. So these are just knit and purls. I'm going to go ahead and knit through the first 3 rows, and taking note that your side column here with the first stitch will be kind of a little mini garter stitch going up the sides. All right, I've completed the first 3 rows of the chart, and you can kind of see the columns and things are starting to become established here. So we're going to begin row 4, and that's on the right side. And so I want to show you, first I want to show you the icon, the green symbol, and how that's going to go. So we'll work my way over there here real quick. Purl 2 and knit 3 before we begin that cable. 2, 3. Okay, so the instructions there say slip 3 to the cable needle and hold to the back. Now I'm going to go ahead and use a cable needle for this because normally I would not. If it was just a standard 3/3 twist, then I would not use a cable needle. However, this is going to involve purling the next one, then knitting one, then purling. I could switch everything around, and maybe I will try that here in a moment. But the first thing we're going to do is hold those 3 stitches to the back, and then we're going to purl 1, knit the center one, and we're in keeping with this pattern here. You can see that. Purl 1, knit 1, and then purl the next. So that kind of keeps the pattern that's already established. Then we'll knit 3 from the cable needle. So I think I probably will try that again without a cable needle next time, and we'll see how that's going to go. I'm at the second green symbol on row 4, and the instructions say if I were using a cable needle, I would take these next 3 stitches and hold them to the back. So what I want to do then is take the 3 stitches after that. So these 3 purl stitches will go to the back, but then these next 1, 2, 3 with the knit stitch in the middle are going to cross over to the right. I just realized I have a greenish yellow tinge to my fingers and hands because I've been processing tomatoes. So when you pick tomatoes, you get that green thumb. That's, I'm pretty sure, where that saying comes from. So, All right, well, bear with the farm hands. If you gotta have manicured hands, this is not the channel to see that. All right, so instead of using a cable needle, let's just try this. Might be to my peril, we'll find out. So since I'm wanting to hold these to the back, I'm gonna take my right needle and go in from the front and capture these next 3, being careful not to lose any of these purl stitches off. And then I'm going to pinch, oh, I lost one, there we go. So I have those 3 captured. I'm going to pinch these first 3 purl stitches at the base against the back of the right needle. Then I'm going to slip those out and then get my left needle right back in there, capture those without splitting them, and get them right back on there. Okay. Did I get them all? Nope, I missed one. I missed this one right here, didn't I? Okay, 1, 2, 3. And then pull those 3 across to the right and put them back on. So now we've just changed positions with those 3 stitches, but we need to know how we need to work them. And the instructions say we need to purl this, knit the next, so it's in keeping with the pattern, what we had already established, and then purl that one. Then knit them off the cable needle, but we're not using a cable needle there, so let's go ahead and knit those 3 right off. Okay, and it looks as if I have a bit of a split right there, so let me re-knit that and include that strand. Purl the next 3 following our instructions, and we'll just carry on across the row that way. All right, I've knitted back across on the wrong side with row 5, which was pretty much with the exception of the first and the last stitch of the row, it's pretty much knit the knits, purl the purls. So now I'm on row 6, and I've done the first 3. All right, so now this next blue symbol is also going to be a cable to the right. And if we're going to do it with a cable needle, we'll go ahead and slip 3 stitches off on the cable needle and hold to the back. Okay, this is going to be super similar to the other one, where we're going to purl 1, knit 1, purl 1 on the next 3 stitches, keeping in pattern with what's going on there. But then instead of knitting the instead of knitting the stitches off the cable needle, we will purl them from the cable needle. So it's really similar. It's just we're treating the stitches on the cable needle a little bit differently. So then we're just going to carry on. So that was pretty straightforward. If you can do the green one, you can do the blue one. All right, I'm going to carry on and work through the chart, and I will show you the orange and yellow symbols momentarily when I get there. Okay, I'll show you how to do this sequence without a cable needle. Instead of holding these next stitches to the back, I'm going to go in to this next 3 stitches, working my right needle underneath, and I'm pinching these onto the base of the needle, slip off the left needle and put them right back on. There we go. Pull these over to the right, and then I just replace them right back on, and then I work them as indicated. Be careful not to split anything. So that's going to be a purl. Whoops. I lost my tensioner there. My purl, knit, purl, and then this time we're purling these next 3 instead of knitting them as before. And I just had that one pop off. So there we go. Purl, 2, dang, I'm having issues this evening. 3. Okay. There we go. You can see how that's going to look. Knit the next 3, purl the next 3 after that, and do your blue cable again. All right, after I finished row 6, which was here, I just went ahead and knitted rows 7 through 11, which is just knits and purls, to get us up to row 12. And our first orange symbol, which is simply slipping 3 cable needle, 3 stitches onto the cable needle and hold to the back. So we'll go ahead and do this one with a cable needle to start with, and then I'll show you how I'm going to do it without. So we're going to slip these 3 purl stitches. I'm just using a double pointed needle. My proper cable needle that I really prefer, the Brittany Birch ones that I have a link down below for. It's like in my desk drawer somewhere. And I had this handy, so I just grabbed it. So slip those 3 to the back, and then we're going to knit these 3. Then when we pull their cable needle around to the left, we're going to purl 1, knit 1, purl 1 from the cable needle. So in the past, we've been doing that straight off the needle and knitting or purling the ones from the cable needle. So this is a little bit of a departure. It's just the opposite, in fact, but we're still creating a cable to the right. And knit and purl, knit 1, purl 1 from the back. And then we purl the next 3 and carry on repeating what's in the section between the red lines there. There's our purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, and you can see that that's in keeping with this pattern, with this line that we have coming up here. So it looks like we're going to begin another line that's going to come from this 3 knit stitch column, and we're going to have another single stitch traveling knit stitch there. So that'll be interesting to see. All right, I went ahead and knitted row 13, which is just knits and purls, and does require a little bit of paying attention, but it's pretty straightforward. Now I'm on row 14, which contains our last cable symbol for this particular block, and it's just slipping the first 3 to the cable needle in the back. We know how to do that. Grab the next 3 on your right needle if you're doing this with me. And again, same thing, same procedure. The difference here is that we're just going to simply knit the 3 first stitches, and we're going to purl 3 from the cable needle. So rather than doing the alternating, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, we're going to purl these 3 right in a row. So that's pretty straightforward. All right, carry on. I will check back with you in a little bit, and I'll show you how the pattern is emerging. I really like this block. I think this is really interesting how we've carried over this column of 3 knit stitches over, and then this appears to be a 1 knit stitch column, and it is, but what I mean by that is we are still exchanging 3 over 3. So although this appears to be a 1 stitch column, it's really the purl 1, knit 1, purl 1. So I think that's kind of neat that it appears like that. So this has turned out to be a really fun block. I didn't realize it would look quite this way when I just looked at the chart. So now I am ready to do my decrease row back down to the original 57 stitches, and then repeat rows 1 through 9 again and bind off. So the decrease row is really straightforward. We're just going to knit 2 together twice, Following the written instructions for square 9, knit 2 together twice, and then we're going to knit 1, knit 2 together 27 times until we have 2 stitches left, if you don't want to count, and then knit 2 together and then you should have 57 left, same as our beginning cast on. Then we're just going to repeat rows 1 through 9 as we did in the beginning of the square, ending with a wrong size row, and then we'll just do our regular bind off. All right, there it is, block 9 finished, bound off, blocked and drying. So block number 9 was enjoyable. I thought it was pretty quick. It only took me a couple of days. I thought it was pretty straightforward. I think the next few are going to be similarly straightforward, but we'll wait and see next month. All right, as always, thanks for joining me. Drop a picture in the social media groups. We have a Purl Together group on Facebook and Ravelry. If you want to show me a picture of your 9 blocks, or at least the most recent one, I'd certainly appreciate that. All right, feel free to holler if you have any questions, and thanks for watching.